In this video, we'll be walking through an example of order of operations. Order of operations, remember, is parentheses or symbols of grouping first, and then exponents, and then multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. So what we mean by doing parentheses or symbols of grouping first is to simplify what's inside these symbols of grouping first. So we have these large brackets, simplify what's in this. It's like we have this smaller problem, and then even smaller we have inside these square brackets, and inside of that we have this multiplication to do. So essentially inside the large brackets what we have is a subtraction problem, because we know we do multiplication first. So we're going to simplify this part, this multiplication, and then this multiplication. But inside of these brackets we need to simplify before we can multiply this x that's out here. So in this next step what I'm going to write is the multiplication here, and also the multiplication of negative x, and remember it's negative x because we're saying minus x times all of this, so negative x times the 3 minus x quantity. And at this point you might like to pause the video and see if you can finish it from here, but let's just keep going here. In black is what I have not changed. In blue I've foiled this. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times negative 3 is negative 3x squared. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then over here, negative x times 3 is negative 3x. Negative x times negative x is positive x squared. Okay, so we've done in blue, we've done all we can over there. We need to multiply this x, but before we can, we need to simplify what's inside of these parentheses or symbols of grouping. Here we have square brackets. So that'll be the next step that I do, is just to simplify what's inside these brackets. So what is in black has not changed from the previous line, and what's in green we have just simplified. X minus 3x is negative 2x, and then we have plus x squared. Now we can continue with the multiplication, and that is the negative x. Remember it's minus x, so we're going to keep this negative x and multiply it by what is inside the brackets. And now we have the next line written. What is black has not changed. In purple we have negative x times negative 2x is 2x squared, and then negative x times x squared is negative x to the third. Now we're almost finished. We have to continue simplifying what is inside this symbol of grouping, and that will just be a combining of like terms. So I'll write that next line. And what is in red has changed. So we have x to the third and then minus x to the third. Those are canceling out. And we have negative 3x squared and positive 2x squared. That gives us negative x squared. And then 2x is just by itself, and then negative 6 or minus 6. Now we can take it home. We have negative 2x multiplied by negative x squared gives us positive 2x to the third, and negative 2x times positive 2x gives us negative 4x squared, and negative 2x times negative 6 gives us positive 12x. So there is the final answer, just taking these steps of order of operations.